Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Arnold, and tonight I'm going to discuss some tips and tricks on how to deal with as you expand your consciousness and awaken as empaths and light workers, all your 5 physical senses increase in sensitivity. So a lot of people are having a hard time with their 5 physical senses because everything seems louder or more pronounced, and people are running and hiding and saying, I need to be in silence, I can't interact with all the other humans on the planet because I'm sensitive to their frequencies. Noises are more loud, smells are more stronger, my eyes hurt from the sunlight and the computer screens, and I can feel everybody's emotions and energies, and it's draining me and wearing me out. So all our 5 senses kind of increase. Foods start tasting different. So all 5 senses are increasing and changing as we awaken and expand our consciousness, because as we expand our consciousness, we're connecting with our energy, with the energy of all, and we're receiving a lot more information. So it's like everything's hyper extended. So I'm going to go through the 5 senses and give you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to help kind of be able to function in society around other people and other people's energies and deal with our 5 senses being so hyper loud. So I'm going to start with sight. So many of you might notice that sunlight's really strong. Computer screens, the lights from the computer screens, or LED lights, or just sensitivity to light. You might be having a hard time with that. So wearing sunglasses more often. If you're, on the computer, you can put on some sunglasses, and also using like quartz crystals, any kind of crystals for the EMF radiation. So you can put those crystals between the screen, like say you have a cell phone or your computer screen, you can put the crystals between you and the screen, and it will decrease the radiation from the electromagnetic field. So that might be helpful. And just taking some time during the day to go in and just take 5-10 minutes every few hours just to be by yourself, maybe shut off the lights, go into a little meditation, and just get comfortable with being in silence and in the dark, and to get grounded again, and then go back out and join your friends or your coworkers. Another thing is our sense of touch. So our sense of, like, as empaths, like your sensitivity to feeling everyone's energies around you. So if you want to have more control of that, so you're not feeling everybody's energies all the time, if you ground yourself, everyone knows how to ground, so just you can picture tree roots or whatever your visualization is, pulling your consciousness fully into your body, saying it's safe to be in a human body, and then expanding that energy out and not being afraid of other people's energies, but really commanding what you're allowing in your reality. I command that person to disconnect all their energies from me. I command that I be disconnected from all their energies. I don't want to see that at this time, and really being firm with what you're allowing into your auric field, or what you're allowing to receive, how you're allowing information to come in from the universe. So if you be really firm and say, I'm going to not feel everything around me at this time, then you won't, but you have to command it. And when you command it, you evoke the God within you, or to create your reality. So you evoke the Christ consciousness, or the consciousness within you, to create your reality in front of you. So just being really firm with what you're allowing when you want to see it. You don't have to feel everybody's energies all the time. So saying whose energies you would like to feel at that time, or you would not to. So just being really firm with what you're allowing, and not being afraid of somebody's energies hurting you. Like you are everything. Saint Germain's always saying, like, you are everything, so what do you have to be afraid of? You are them, they are you. So if you have to put a bubble around you, you're saying that there's a fear that they're going to hurt me. But if there's no bubble and you know that you are all that is, you can say, well, I command, I don't want to see how they're feeling, and nothing can hurt you unless you believe it can. So just, you know, knowing that you have the power to state what you want to see and when you want to see it. Okay, and then with hearing, I don't know if any of you have hyperacusis. It's like, as you know, there's new chakras openings for people like that are consciously expanding and awakening, having a spiritual awakening. There's chakras right by the ears that are activating, and the sense of hearing it gets increased. And your sensitivity to hearing. So sounds that normally didn't bother you before, like chewing or the sound of water running or fans, or just background noise, like listening to one person talk, more than one person talk at a time. If that's starting to bother you, and you find you need just to be by yourself and you're always running and hiding from noise, I did find something on the internet, and it is like changed my life. It's called Flare Audio. Here I have one here. They're little like hearing aids. They're shaped. You can see that there's a hole in them. They're not like earplugs because there's a hole, and they're shaped like they're made of silicone, and they're shaped so that when you put them in your ears, they're really easy to put in. You just pop them in, and when they're in, I wear them all the time. When they're in, it takes away that brain irritation. So when I hear noise, the way that my brain interprets it is now different. So I'll put that link below my video, like in the description, if anybody wants to order a pair. They're from the UK. They're $35, and they've changed my life. So what happened before is I would hear, when I would hear noises, it's like the limbic system or the frontal lobe the sound would go directly there, and I'd find I had like brain irritation, and I'd get really irritable or anxiety. And these are called Flare Audio Calmers, and they've totally calmed me down, and I don't get anxiety. I don't get this constant brain irritation from sound now. And my jaw, I used to have a lot of like tightening and jaw pain, and that's like gone. So I wear these 24 hours a day. You just take them out and wash them with soap and water. They're really easy to use, and I'll put the link down. I want to say thanks to Flare Audio, you've changed my life. And for the next one is smells. So a lot of people are more sensitive to smells. So removing all scented products, like Saint Germain shows me that when we have any fragrances or scented products in one drop, there's like hundreds of, like, well, not always, but there's like many different chemicals in each drop. So say you spray a spray of perfume, there's so many frequencies of these low vibrating energies, dense fear-based energies that are blocking your auric field, and it's preventing you from receiving a lot of information from your spirit guides because it's clogging up your auric field. So if you went for an energy healing, they're trying to do some energy healing on you, but you might have cream or hairspray or deodorant and perfumes, and so here the energies from maybe receiving an energy healing, it's trying to come through, but your auric field's clogged with all these chemicals, and it's also blocking you from receiving information from your spirit guides. So your ego says, oh, we've got to put on perfume so we smell good and people will like us, they'll be attracted to us. But the ego's tricking you to believe that perfume would make people more attracted, and it's also actually repelling, because they're not smelling your true scent. Like the pheromones are all screwed up because we're blocking it with all these dense chemicals. And you would notice that like new earth children are very sensitive to smells and perfumes, and it's, if you have any children that are new earth children, like even if you had those, you know, those things hanging, air fresheners hanging in your car, or those scented air fresheners or scented candles in the house, it's really blocking and clogging their auric fields. That's what Saint Germain's showing me. So just using unscented products, unscented laundry soap, fragrance-free laundry soap, and detergents and soaps will really help you to start to receive more information from your spirit guides and feel better physically, because as it's, those fragrances are blocking areas in your auric fields, in turn it blocks like meridians and chakras, and so you'll feel a lot better if you have a fresh, clean environment. So good air quality in your house. I know that's not possible for everyone, but just even going outside in nature and getting some fresh air every day, and using scent-free products. Also, if you want to meet your soulmate and you're wearing perfume, your soulmate finds you like through smell, and one way is through smell and your energy. And if you might walk right by him on the street and he won't smell your true scent, subconsciously, I guess, is how we work as animals on planet Earth. We work through pheromones when we're attracted to people. So if you take off the perfumes, and you might end up meeting someone that's you know, a good match for you, because there's no blocks to your pheromones and your attraction to each other through that sense. So yeah, there's a lot of, like, even autistic children, they're very sensitive to smells, and it's blocking a lot of their meridians. So they're showing me a lot with the new earth children with smells, and just being overwhelmed from the chemicals. And he's showing me, like, remember everybody used to smoke cigarettes everywhere. You could smoke cigarettes on the airplanes or in the hospital. You know, you'd give birth and be able to smoke a cigarette, and the doctor would come in your hospital room and have a cigarette lit. And you go to a restaurant and people would be smoking, and then all of a sudden everyone, or gradually, I guess, not all of a sudden, but everyone couldn't handle the cigarette smoke anymore, because it was such a low, dense, vibrating energy. And as people awaken and expand their consciousness, they couldn't match, or like, they couldn't deal with that vibration anymore. And so it happened like as a collective on the planet, and all the businesses and stuff started preventing people from smoking in their establishments, and they stopped smoking in the hospitals and on airplanes. The same thing, Saint Germain's showing me, the same thing's going to happen with like perfumes and those chemicals in like laundry detergents and soaps, and eventually everyone's frequencies, as they expand their consciousness and awaken, because everybody on planet Earth is at some point, they're not going to be able to handle those smells, and the planet will clean up that way, getting rid of all those cheap chemical fragrances. So yeah, just, you know, making sure you don't have anything that has chemicals in it, and you might start to feel a lot better physically, because it's not blocking your auric field. And that's like anything in your like laundry detergent would still be in your clothes, or if you have soaps or hairsprays. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going on about it, you get it. So other thing, taste. So as we awaken, the dense foods, and everyone knows this, and you probably are all starting to change your diets. Eating processed food just isn't working. Our physical bodies, as we awaken, can't match that vibration. And the new earth children, a lot of them have all these allergies and food sensitivities, and everybody's like, I don't know why this is happening. And it's because their energy frequency, and I'd mentioned it in other videos, it can't handle those dense foods. So just cleaning up your diet, having more of those greens and alive foods, like foods that would be considered more raw or natural, but also saying grace or bringing in the violet flame before you eat if there is anything dense, low frequencies vibrating in that food. If you channel Reiki or say a prayer or like say grace over your food, or bring in the violet flame and surround your food with it, it will change the frequencies within the food back to love before you eat them. So if you go to a restaurant and the food doesn't taste good, maybe the cook was angry and they channeled some anger into the food. Or maybe if you're having a steak and, you know, the cow was abused and now you're eating this meat that had come from an animal that was holding a lot of pain in their energy fields, you might be eating that frequency. So if you say grace, or put the intention of love or God consciousness over your food, bringing in Reiki. You don't have to be a practitioner of any kind. Just saying grace works because it's the intention, and that'll change the frequency in the foods, and your body, your physical body will thank you, might start feeling better. So I think I've covered all the 5 senses, and I know as you awaken, and most of you watching are empaths, and you're dealing with this increase in sensitivities, and everybody around you is just thinks you're complaining a lot. I'm with you. I know it's tough sometimes to function in amongst everyone, all the other humans on the planet, but there are little tips and tricks you can do. And if anybody has any other tricks or tips to share about being sensitive to energies, if you could put it in the comment section below, it would help all of us. I'd imagine that would be very helpful to many people. I would take a lot more tips from everybody if there's more ways that I can feel more comfortable in my physical body here. So I'd love to hear your comments, and thanks for watching. Have a great night.